This is the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove. Billy is an innovative leader in the industry who loves teaching others how to build quality fence. So kick back, grab a cold beverage, and get ready to talk about fence. Today's show is sponsored by Mr. Fence Academy, National Metal Industries, J.C. Gurry, Pro Web Fencing, and Orlando Hinge Company. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fabulous Tuesday evening? It's been good here in Florida, been great, getting hot. But we've been rolling right along, man, dealing with the little pop-up showers, the pop-up thunderstorms, all that. It's monsoon season. So hope you guys have had a wonderful week since the last time we spoke and saw each other, all that. But real quick, guys, we want to go ahead and get into the thank you to the sponsors. So first and foremost, Mr. Fence Academy. If you're looking to change your fence company in a positive way, whether it be business training, sales training, installation training, look no further than MrFenceAcademy.com at www.MrFenceAcademy.com. National Metal Industries, guys, if you're in the market for privacy slats, I see a lot of people ask this on the pages a whole lot. Go check out National Metal Industries at www.nmifence.com. Guys, they don't just stock privacy slats, they stock all sorts of fence material, vinyl, chain link, ornamental, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Sorry, I was just hitting a blank. Like they also got fence tools as well, guys. I have some awesome like carriage bolt pliers from them. Go check it out if you're in the chain link game. Awesome stuff. www.nmifence.com. JC Gurry signs and decals, guys. If you're on the fence about a fence sign, see what I did there? Look no further than man, I screwed it up. Like jcgurry.com. All of the stuff is made in-house in the USA. And each sign comes with Mylar lamination, which is going to protect your sign for years and years to come, guys. Don't be fooled by the other like fence sign companies out there. Go check out www.jcgurry.com. And now we have the Orlando Hinge Company, or better known as the Swan Hinge. If you're struggling with getting a gate leaf to like swing uphill because your customer absolutely has to have a gate on an uphill swing, go to www.swanhinge.com. They got them for vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, whatever you need. They can get you taken care of. Easy to install, works 100% of the time. In my case, I've installed 5 or 6 of them. Love them. www.swanhinge.com. All right, guys, we got an awesome show lined up for you tonight. I love the like title. I was trying to make like 2 jokes out of it. So like just the tip of the wing, Evan Gardner lands another fence hit. So we'll have a surprise guest on the last host or the last half. Man, I'm like jumbling all my words up over here, right? But without further ado, man, we're going to bring on the full guest for the night, which is my buddy Evan Gardner out of Denham Springs, Louisiana. Gardner Fences and Wing Tools. So it's going to be a great show, guys. Make sure you drop in the comment section, leave a comment, and just engage, man. If you got any questions, feel free to ask them.
What's up?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm good.
Oh man, you in the workshop, ain't you?
Yep. I got maybe a little rack to hold up all the remaining tools from the first batch of orders.
Nice, man. So like how you been doing since the last time we spoke?
I've been good. Fence wise, I've sold plenty of jobs to keep me busy, and in my downtime, I'm assembling and shipping tools. So I've created a whole second job for myself. It's
Nice.
been nice. The tools have definitely sold a lot faster than I expected them to.
Yeah.
So now I'm gearing up for, I work out of my garage here at the house, and it's become a fab shop for a week, and then it turns into a assembly and boxing and shipping shop for a week or for a month or so. So
Multifaceted, huh?
yeah, I'm getting ready to transition back into welding mode.
There we go, man. Well, that's good, dude. That is good news to hear that the tools are selling and keeping you busy. Speaking of that, how much of real world feedback have you had from people who have bought them and loved them?
I've gotten a good bit. Personal calls, people calling me just saying, "Man, this thing is awesome." I had one guy that his crew accidentally ran over 2 of them with their truck, and he says, "I need 2 more immediately. I don't let my guys build fence without them." So had to get a couple of people have ordered more of them.
That's awesome.
Great feedback so far.
So I take it that they are not run over proof, huh?
No, I'm sure you can kind of bend them back. It is metal. You can probably put a hammer to it, and
Right.
I mean, just because it gets to you so pretty, I don't expect these things to remain unscarred.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
You're going to throw them in the back of your truck. They're going to get bent a little bit. You can bend them back.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. For those who don't know what this is, give us a brief description of what the wingman is, the wing jack, for those who did not watch the first episode and who have no idea what they are.
So the wingman is a tool that when you drive your post, or it could even be used for digging set 4x4 post. It's a tool that hangs on the top of your post once you have it established to height, and it will hold your 2x4 rails at the exact position that they need to be attached to that post. And it's spring loaded. You step on it and release it from the middle and the bottom cleat, bunny hop or move to your next post, and continue to install the rails. It makes it to where there's no math at all involved. You never need a tape measure. Equalizer to lay out your post. You at the truck is where the tape measure stays. You mark your post at the height before they get moved out to where they're going to be driven.
Right.
And that's the only measurement on the whole project that you're going to need.
Hell yeah. I love it. Now, side note, because this is a question that I've been wanting to ask you. So I've seen you do, either 1 or 2 ways of like driving these. You're either driving them to a set height or you're running a grade string. What is your preferred way of that?
Either or.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, both is pretty efficient. It takes a little more time to set up for the grade string line. So I may, maybe if I was focusing on speed, I would just drive to grade, mark each post 67 from the top or 73 if I'm doing cap and trim.
Yep.
These tools will extend to accommodate cap and trim rail spacing as well. I like to not worry about a string line as often as I can.
Right.
It also helps. I mean, being that I just drive them to height instead of to a grade string, and I use the wing jack to manipulate some posts that I need to move up. Once all my framing is up, I can adjust the post heights and make all my framework straight before I do my pickets. That also allows me to do curved fences or on inclines. It can be a curve and an incline. I've done that along the creek edge. It was pretty interesting, but people think that post is going to drop when you lift it up, but it doesn't.
No,
not the way I do it. After we lift it, we tamp it, put a cover. That covered picket goes in the dirt. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yep. I just worked with postmasters recently, and we did not cover the back, but we tamped the ever-loving hell out of them after we pulled a couple up, and they did not go down.
Didn't go nowhere. And y'all use the gopher wood. And
we use the gopher wood, man. I'll tell you what,
good.
Bro. Anytime I use that stuff, man, I love it, man. Shit, man. If I had a choice, I would just pack out 2x4s and like pickets all day long.
Yeah. I mean, so I work by myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to do just a standard, regular, stockade style privacy fence with gopher wood in a while, but I can't wait. I'm gonna time myself my sections per man hour on a gopher wood cedar. This stuff's so light. I mean, I can move out 2 or 3 sections of fence per trip to the trailer.
Yeah.
As opposed to pine, where I'm only wanting to move like 8 or 10 boards at a time. That's heavy.
Yep. I was carrying 3 sections, 12. Yeah, I was carrying 12 2x4s out, 4 sections. 12 2x4s out, and like around 25 to 30 pickets a trip, just because my fingers couldn't reach the top over 25. But I mean, that's almost 2 sections of pickets. It's 4 sections of rails. Not to mention, it cuts like butter, smells amazing, and dude, the finished product is pretty damn nice, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with Postmasters here in Louisiana, Postmasters is excellent. With the pre-stained cedar, you can offer 100% cedar 2x4s, cedar pickets, all pre-stained on a metal post. It's not going to warp, bend, twist, crack, or check. So comparing it to 4x4 posts, it's a no-brainer. It's the only post I will do.
Yeah.
I will not put a 4x4 in the ground anymore. I'm done with them.
Absolutely, man. I believe you on that. I mean, we still do like wood digging set every now and then, but that's just what pays the bills for us. But for the most part,
I've been blessed with the opportunity with Wing Tools that I can kind of be picky about which fences I do now.
Yeah, true that, man.
So I mean, I'm able to say, hey, we don't do wood posts. If you're looking for the cheapest guy for the cheapest quote, and I can kind of cut them out immediately. Say, hey, we only do quality, better materials. It's going to stay good for you.
And I love your gate cutouts, man. Does that come on every single gate?
So a little back when I was doing dig and set with wood posts and Postmasters to try to convince people to go Postmasters, I would say, hey, I will include an archy winder. So I called it the arch cut with the window insert, and I'd give them 4 different options of which window insert that they would like to put inside their gate frame. And it just slowly turned into just everybody that was calling me was wanting Postmasters, and half of them wanted me to come work for them just because of my gates.
There we go.
I mean, you can do any gate like that. It doesn't matter if it's the wood Instagate from Mr. Fence or the Postmaster gate frame or a wood gate frame. You can put those inserts, and the insert costs $55. Takes me maybe 5-10 minutes to cut it out and put it in.
Nice.
It's kind of like my signature thing. Any Postmaster fence that I'm doing, I include 1 free archy winder.
I love your name for it. Archie Winder. That's freaking hilarious. Oh man, I was about to ask you something. I completely forgot about it. We'll go on to the next one. So I see you've been doing a lot of hands-on free training, man. I even see that you got some Rhino boxes like behind you to go with those, huh?
Yeah. Yep. My buddies at Rhino have sent me over 2 of these Rhino XAs. With a 2-foot extension handles and the 4-foot extension handles.
Okay.
So I'm going to offer to anybody that's joining already in the FWA or joining the FWA, come out to do a training with me completely for free. I'll buy you lunch, and you put your hands on these drivers and drive those. See if you like them. I got a US hammer as well. I'm slowly gathering more drivers, but my whole tool kit here is basically for the 1 or 2 man shows.
Yep.
It can take a 4-man crew and reduce it down to, I work by myself, or a 2-man crew can fly through a fence.
Right.
And you don't need the big hydraulics and all that. For a 1-man guy, easily portable gas drivers are pretty handy to have around, especially for a backup. The bigger companies, by all means, get the Patriot.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the Patriot, man. It is worth its weight in gold. I'll say that much.
Yep. So at the Salt Lake City show, I discovered that the wingman will work for many different posts. So I originally marketed this thing and designed it around the Postmaster Pluses, which now they're discontinuing here soon. It's just going to be the Postmaster V3.
Yep.
So the Wingman V3 works for Master Halco's Postmaster Post. It even works for the Z Post.
Oh, man.
You saw the Z Post in
You have
Vegas.
all the different hats lined up ready for me.
I got all of them ready to go.
I love it.
It works with the Grizzly Post.
Okay.
And it works with the Jewett Cameron Lifetime Post that you can get at Home Depot.
Man, check you out. You got the whole hat assembly for it too.
And this hat is my favorite one.
I bet. It's nice and a St. Patrick's green over there.
Yep. My buddies, brand builders, Alex Harris and Cannon Johnson, put this hat together for me and brought it to me at the Salt Lake City show.
Really?
Yep. Pretty cool.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. How was your trip in Salt Lake City? I know it's been a couple months ago, but overall, like how was Fence Tech?
It was good. Got to see a lot of people. Got to shake hands with a lot of people. I actually met the Miss Karen here that's in the chat. Karen O'Neill. They have the Easy Louver practice.
Easy Louver? Yep.
Yep. I'm doing a video on that here soon. I've been needing to do it. I'm sorry, Karen. I will do that as soon as I can.
Oh, Evan, tisk.
But they're right here. They're in the video. They're right there.
I love it, man. I love it. Oh, I just knocked a light over. Boom. I just made a loud noise. Sorry. But
well, it didn't change your lighting any, if that makes you feel better.
It's all right. There's 5 other ones. All right. So FinTech was a good time. Trainings have been going very well, as I see. And what was your biggest motivation behind starting to want to do these trainings and get hands-on and
well, I mean, I've been to many Mr. Fence Academy and Mr. Fence trainings. I know Sean pretty well. I actually, kind of texted him the message before I posted it on Wing Tools about, announcing that we're going to do trainings. But a lot of guys have been asking, they have questions about the wing tools and just the transition from dig and set into driving post.
Right.
And I'm willing to be the open book, the entry into no dig. I will show you everything I know between laying out a fence job, using a string line, not using a string line, stretching the equalizer out, painting your lines, driving to the tag, driving to height, driving to grade. I'll answer any questions you got. Nice. And a lot of times people see these training events and they are, at dedicated times, on March Madness or, all the different dates. And sometimes people can't just drop what they're doing and come, but you can plan ahead anytime. You just message me and say, hey, I want to come down to Louisiana for 3 days on this week. I'll find us something to do. If I don't have a no dig job, I know Chris Gass and Jack Fencing in Lafayette will have one. We'll drive to Pace, Florida. It don't matter. I know plenty of people that do no dig every single day. I can bring somebody and teach them everything that I can.
There we go. And yeah, man, we're kind of transitioning into the same thing, like for my trainings as well. So guys, if you are watching and you can't make some of the scheduled training dates, just like Evan said, just text us, call us, and we will set you up, man. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. We will put a driver in your hands and let you go to work.
Yep. Absolutely, buddy. We will. All right, let's get into some of these comments. I'm now scrolling through them, so now it's time to go through them. There is my beautiful wife. She says, hey, guys, have a great show. Purple Heart. Got Mr. Mike Levy from National Metal Industries on. What's going on, Mr. Mike? How are you tonight? JC sign. Oh, my God. JC Gurry signs and decals in the house. Got Miss Karen McManus O'Neill in the house from Easy Louver. She says, hi, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Uh-oh. Hey, Evan, I noticed your artwork was in our art department. Thanks for your business. I'll get you some lines.
So I have been building fences for 4 years. Well, longer than that. I started with Modad Utilities doing fences around the perimeter of the ship plants around here. But I was wet setting metal poles. Driving wasn't even a thing. It was all done by an amateur.
Right.
But the last 4 years, I would say I've gotten pretty serious in the fencing. The quality has definitely gone up, and I have yet to ever have a fence sign.
No way, really?
I've never put a single fence sign up on any of my fences or nothing. So now I got some coming.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. You're gonna have to give me one.
All right.
I will put it on my desk. My desk is almost completely full. All right. We got Mr. Josh Clark in the house. He said wood fence sucks, vinyl to the front. Man, if we could install vinyl every day, dude, we would all be super rich, right? Super easy. Justin Young says, I see you, Evan. He sees you, buddy. Karen McManus O'Neill says the hat assembly, very nice.
I need an easy louver hat. Send it on.
Yeah. There we go. She also says it was great to meet you. You are awesome. Oh, look at that. We got a King Jr. in the house. Mr. Dylan King says, bring him up here. Absolutely, man. You guys are doing awesome work. Love you guys.
I believe they just got a new Ready driver.
They did. I saw it, man. I've been wanting to actually use one of those for more than a couple posts. I want to
couple jobs.
Yeah, a couple jobs because I've heard nothing but great things about them.
I've heard wonderful things about them.
But I don't have the true time of work with them to put a good opinion on them, which I know it's probably going to be great. But there's that. Josh Clark says, yep, we will teach you how to know. We will not. We will not teach you how to do narrow gap shadow box on a job training. We will never do that again. Oh, Josh got
something.
Yeah. It was it wasn't during fence week. It was the one after that. But yeah, we realized we were like, no more shadow box for training events. So there's that. Not unless you absolutely want to have me come to a private training for a shadow box. We're gonna be focusing on standard stock 8 or even board on board, to be honest with you. Vinyl, aluminum, of course, as well. And you're doing it all too, right? Or are you just doing wood?
Wood and aluminum.
Wood and aluminum. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a vinyl fence coming up here soon, but it's not going to be. It's a vinyl semi-private with black posts, so it's going to be. I think I'm going to do my own kind of learning on that one. I haven't got a core drill through some pull decking, and it's just not the. I mean, if you want to come tag along and watch me learn along with you, you're welcome to it. But it's not going to be very informative.
Pull decking is always fun, man. Always fun.
Yeah,
always fun. You got to be super careful. But all right, let's get back into it. Let's see here. All right, so we talked about Postmaster changing a couple things. What were some of the challenges in the development of the tools for going to V3? Maybe not just the tools, but getting available drive caps for the posts and all that.
Well, that was a challenge, getting some drive caps. Took a little while, but from what I understand, the Rhino XA they don't require drive caps on anything that they drive, so it's going to be nice not have to switch between all the different posts. Yeah. Doing examples, I can just load it up and go. The big challenge, the previous version, the Wingman, I guess 2.0 or V2, still had the 1.5-inch square tubing center channel on it, and I knew well ahead of time that the Postmaster was going to be changing to a narrower open channel in it. And I was told one measurement and it came back to be a little tighter than that. So what I had to do is, end up switching my cleats from the back side of the tool to the inner side, but it opened up the doors for more possibilities. So I added a billet aluminum magnetic peg that now rides in the channel of the post. And it kind of helps to hold the tool magnetically to the post. But if you're going to do 4x4s, you can take the aluminum peg off, add the cleat extensions to the cleat, and it'll reach out past the 4x4 to hold your 2x4s exactly where they need to be.
Nice.
So
Nice. And those work on King Plus as well too, right?
It'll work on King Plus if you trim the box picket
Flush with your rail.
Yep. But I know, Sean explained to me that you kind of want to leave that hide to hide the transitions where the seams where your top cap, your top rail meets.
Yep.
So that's kind of up to you if you want to go that route and trim that box picket for the wingman to work, but it will work flawlessly on a King Plus cap and trim.
Okay. Yeah. Because everything's the like same height, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice. What we got? I know you got something up your sleeve. Is there anything that you want to give any sneak peeks at, or any new news that's coming down the pipeline from Wing Tools?
Well, as of the 30th, 6 days ago, I did file the non-provisional patent application for the wingman. So that's a big hurdle. Had to get past that before the deadline. With patents, you have a certain time frame that you have to file the patent. So I got that done. There's been a few changes, adjustments to the wing jacks. So the feet that are on the jack are a little shorter now, so to help prevent them from getting bent upwards. So I'll always tell people put a 2x4 underneath that jack before you go lifting up on the post.
Right.
And the slotted holes that are in the jack plate, I got one here. This is the new feet.
Okay.
I just shortened the throw of the foot there on the jack. And then these slotted holes on the inside, so the bigger holes on the outside will still accommodate and fit for the Postmaster Pluses while they're still available. And these inner holes that are slotted, they will fit the Lifetime Post and the new Postmaster Post.
Okay.
So you can still, bolt up pretty much to anything. Oh, and the outer holes do allow you to bolt up to the Z post as well. So both tools work for pretty much any post. The jack, unfortunately, only works for no-dig posts, the no-dig winged post in particular. I'm sure there's a way to make it lift a round post, like a King Plus post here soon. Still working on it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't really see why you would need to lift a round post unless you.
Well, I mean, I feel like you can lift a round post with a choker and the quick pull without it bending. I mean, there's really not a need for it. The need for this is it'll lift a winged post where you can't put a choker or chain around it without it destroying the post. Now you can just flange it to it, use your drill, and lift up the post without doing any damage at all.
Nice. And that still works for the I-beams as well?
I got those up there too.
He said,
So I've had several guys reach out to me and they're like, hey, as soon as you have these ready, let me know. I got some I-posts that I need to pull. Some of them it's interesting. One of them was a company had installed a fence for a customer, a no-dig aluminum fence, driving in the I-post. And like 3 months later, that customer bought a new house and they're moving and they want to take the whole fence with them. Well, now when you bolt these to these bigger outer holes on the jack, and it'll grab the I-post when you lift it.
Okay. All right.
Without damaging it to where it can still be reused.
Okay. All right.
But we're not really releasing this yet. We still got some design changes. We need bigger teeth, more of a curve, and a groove down the middle of it, and it'll be ready to go.
Okay. Well, hey, man,
it shouldn't take long to get that out the door.
There we go. All right, bud. Well, we have hit commercial time, so we're going to take a commercial break real fast, and then we're going to come back and have our surprise special guest come on. I'll see you in about 3 minutes, okay?
Cool deal.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. J.C. Gurry Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, J.C. Gurry specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgurry.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgurry.com. Struggling with a gate that drags on your sloped yard? Orlando Hinge Company has the solution, the Swan Hinge. Unlike standard hinges, the Swan Hinge lets double drive gates swing open smoothly up inclines, eliminating dragging and binding. Easy to install on vinyl, aluminum, wood, and chain link gates. It's built for durability and made to withstand the elements. And when your customer hears that, yes, their gates can work on a slope, you just made the sale. The Swan Hinge, designed by fencers for fencers. Made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Order today at swanhinge.com or email info@orlandohingecompany.com. The Swan Hinge, because every gate deserves to open smoothly.
All right, guys, we're back, and a real quick shout out to the sponsors: Mr. Fence Academy, www.mrfenceacademy.com; National Metal Industries, www.nmifence.com; JC Gurry Signs and Decals, www.jcgurry.com; and Orlando Hinge Company, www.swanhinge.com. All right, guys, we got a surprise guest on tonight, Mr. Kevin Poole. If anybody got the joke at the beginning with the just the tip, that is who it is, and we're gonna go ahead and bring him on.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man?
Hey, just happy to be here, man. Evan, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? Long time no see.
Yeah, long time, like a week ago.
There we go. There we go. So, how did that whole build come together, Kevin? I know, I know you had a wedding down there. Is that just kind of how it all came together?
Yeah, my daughter got married in Houston, and just so happened I was driving back through Louisiana. So Evan and I talked a couple weeks beforehand. He's like, "Hey, when you come back through, you want to stop in and do some training with me?" And I said, "Hell yeah, man, I'd love to." So I jumped at it as soon as we got on the road and headed out and stopped in and, spent some time with Evan and his crew. And we had some really good hands-on training. I tell you, I learned so much just spending a few hours with that guy. And, I can't wait to do it again. Hopefully he can come out to the East Coast soon, and, I can put him to work like he put me to work. So
that's awesome.
Well, I think I learned more from Kevin than he learned from me. But definitely, I want to make it to the East Coast and come hang out.
Come on.
Come on. That's awesome. I loved the video that you posted, Kevin, of Evan driving by himself. I even asked you for it after you posted it. That was good stuff, man.
Yeah, he's definitely got the process down. Yeah, I've always been a firm believer. And, when we started the no dig process almost 3 years ago, working with the different drivers that we tested out and, it was, in my mind, it was definitely a 2-man, if not 3-man operation, setting those things. And we're very OCD about, getting everything plumb and, to the string line and all that kind of stuff. And I have never tried a 1-man operation. And I know Evan, he's a 1-man team. And when he showed me his process of the setup, I was just blown away. I couldn't wait to get my hands on it and do it myself. And I jumped right in, just watched him one time and was able to mimic his process, and just couldn't believe how easy it really could be, for one guy to set the post by himself. Now, granted, I didn't have all the tools and setup. I didn't have the level clip and, all that kind of stuff. And, it was a learning curve at first, but once I set one, I couldn't wait to do another one. I did another one and then another one, and before you know it, we were down the fence line in no time. So it was a good time, very, very informative, and I loved it. And I brought it back and already showed my guys, the process, immediately, how easy it can actually be.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I preach that all the time, man. I'm like, you guys, once you get to where you're comfortable enough to be doing this by yourself, you start to get dangerous. You start to really, really, really go fast.
Yeah. Well, dangerous is still the key term. I mean, the equipment's heavy. The equipment's heavy. It's hot. We're sweaty. Gloves are important with working with the posts that are sharp and all that kind of stuff. So, you got to take that into consideration. And I know there were some comments about the safety aspect and stuff that we did and didn't do on the job, but the job's it's inherently dangerous. Number one, you know what I mean? But we are professionals at what we do. So, if I skip a safety measure or something like that, I'm doing it at my own risk, and because I feel confident in my abilities, and there's no need to comment about the method that I'm doing. You know what I mean? And we don't even have to get on that soapbox.
Right. No, I mean, I am absolutely in agreement with you. I tell all the attendees that come to my trainings, I tell them that they are grown men or grown women. If they don't want to wear a hard hat, then by all means, I'm not going to force you.
Right.
But as far as my team members go for high steel, they have to wear them. And that's
sure.
I was this close about saying all you got to do is just wear some hearing protection.
Yeah. No, you're 100%. And let me just say this firsthand. We learned that lesson the hard way. The very first job that we did, and we didn't have hard hats because we were so happy about getting a driver system and getting the process going, didn't even think about it. And the first job that we did, one of my guys took a drive cap to the dome and cut himself. So the importance is absolutely there. But let me tell you, the vigilance that we have now when working around that stuff and being mindful of what the potential hazards are. We haven't had that incident again. And every time the guy underneath the driver has a hard hat on, and that's just the way it is. The guy necessarily on top of the ladder operating the driver, he may not have a hard hat on, but the guy underneath it, if it's a 2-man operation, he's definitely got one on.
I am completely with you on that. And like I was saying, I was very close to just telling my guys that all they had to do was wear hearing protection. And then a couple months ago, I went to go put a 2 3/8 post up against the string line, and I hit a sinkhole, and it dropped 3 feet, and the driver hit me straight in my hard hat. And like I said, I was so close to being just like, you guys, no more hard hats. We're using the bull now.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just wear earplugs or something. But when that happened, I was like, I'm so thankful that I was wearing my hard hat, because
that's right. I mean, again, it
good.
Yeah, you'll learn hard lessons the hard way, and that's the bottom line.
Absolutely. So besides you guys doing a spaced horizontal fence, what about that project made it just so unique? Because I saw the after pictures and it was freaking awesome.
I mean, what was so unique about it was Evan has never done one.
Okay.
And there was a lot of conversation about it beforehand about, how should I do this? How should I do that? This, that, and the other. And, through text messages and video chats and whatnot, we walked through some things. I sent him some pictures of stuff that we've done. But when we got there hands on and, we could actually, physically see it in reality, that's when it all came together and clicked for him. And, I didn't realize it until I was watching this. I didn't know Evan's only been doing this for, what'd you say, 4 or 5 years? Is that right?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Well, he acts like, and the passion that he has for the industry, the tools and the techniques, everything. This guy acts like he's been doing it for 20 years.
That's awesome.
So, and I've been doing it for, gosh, I got to think a minute, 25, 26 years, almost 27 years now, I guess. So, and I'm still learning every day. So, and that's the attitude. I mean, I brought to his job site and I couldn't wait for him to teach me something, and damn if he didn't, so
awesome.
it was a good time.
That's awesome. So, Evan, what is one thing that you picked up from Mr. Kevin?
A whole lot.
What was your number one thing then?
Running all the pickets at one height level and marking all your posts and just putting that one band of picket horizontally around the entire job.
That starter picket, that one horizontal starter picket, and then working your way from there. Yeah.
Just one level line around the whole job, and then working up, working down.
That's right.
Made a whole lot of sense. I was prepared to, start from the bottom, following grade, and it was just going to be a something.
Okay. So I'm gonna need you to say that one more time again, Kevin, because I'm learning something new right now.
Okay, so in this particular job, Evan had an 8-foot horizontal, and he was using 6-foot pickets, cedar pickets, and we talked about the process on working with postmasters and how we were going to split a rail system and we are going to attach it to the sides of the postmaster, and that's what we were going to attach our pickets to. So I told him that, the way that we like to do it is we like to start out with a nice horizontal level rail or picket, if you will. And we're going to use our 8-foot level, and we're going to mark out those posts at an eye level height. And we're going to run that line all the way around the fence so that we've got a good idea and a good reference point of what that fence is going to look like. And we use that same process whether we're doing an alternating size picket, like you're going from like a 5.5 to a 1x4, whether you're splitting rails, whatever it is, as long as we've got a good starter picket at a nice clean line all the way throughout, we can work everything up and down from there. And that allows us to get to our spacing at our reveal in our sections. And we can mitigate that reveal that's going to be going from like a 5.5 on one end down to a 3-inch on the other. And we're just going to cut that picket in order to compensate or keep that same reveal, that same distance between the bottom of the picket and the bottom of the grade. And that's just, I'm not saying that that's the right way. And I'm sure somebody's got a much easier, better way of doing it than the way I do. But that's just what's been working for me. It's what's easy to teach my guys. And every job turns out great when we work at that method. So we also talked about the stiffener boards, or the what did I call them? The strong backs or whatever. The piece that we put in between the two posts, the strong backs. We talked about some different options on installing those, whether you're either going to cap it or not cap it, making it look a little bit more decorative from the inside and that kind of thing, and how we use that as a mitigating point if grade doesn't allow us to continue that one picket all the way through to the next post, that we're going to cantilever past that as far as we possibly can so we just don't create any nose holes for dogs or any other animals or whatnot to get in or get out. So we talked about that too, and I think he applied that on a couple of sections in that job that I saw in the video. So I looked at the project, as he was going through it, and man, he was hitting on all cylinders, and that thing turned out phenomenal.
That's awesome. And that makes a whole lot of sense. So you're saying don't start in the middle, don't start top or bottom, but go eye level.
Eye level. And plus it keeps us, from bending over so much. And, I always like to put as least amount of stress on the job and the guys as possible,
Right.
And if we start that out at an eye level point and we can see that, yes, number one, we leveled it out good. We can see already, how many pickets is it going to take to fill in each section at different points. So those can be prepared and placed in those sections and ready to go. Because our grades change a lot here. I mean, we talked about soil conditions too out there when we were driving, and the soil conditions where he's at, or where in that particular area, very similar to what we deal with here. So the driving conditions were very similar, and then the grade changes that he was dealing with, the root systems, and the drainage area and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very typical of every job that we go on here. So we had a long conversation. We talked the fence up more than we put it up, be honest with you.
Sometimes that's how it goes though, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So what are your thoughts on postmasters or winged posts going through obstacles versus round posts?
Going through obstacles, you mean like root systems and shit like that?
Rocks. Yeah.
Well, we don't have rocks here unless they were installed in the grade due to construction. We deal with a lot of slag. We've got a major steel mill here, Nucor Steel. You may have seen them on the news lately.
Yep.
And all the slag from that place gets delivered to a lot of the job sites here for construction equipment to get in and out of lots and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We do a lot of new construction installs, so we end up with a lot of that. So that presents a problem. But if we run into something, typically it's going to be within the first 6 to 10 inches or so. We stop. I mean, we stop. We'll pull a post. We'll dig down, find out what it is, cut it away, move it away, and continue on. The drivers that we use, one is the hammer, and then we've got the bull. The bull seems to drive through whatever it is we want to put it in. I mean, there's just no stopping it. The hammer, we've learned that it has its purpose. It has its use. It is a good tool. I just don't break it out and don't have as much confidence in it as I do the bull now. So, yeah, I mean, we figure out what it is we're hitting. I mean, because we don't have boulders. We don't have a lot of rocks, so there's going to be a root, it's going to be a pipeline, sprinkler line, or God forbid a utility or something, and we want to find out what it is. So we just go. That's why we keep post hole diggers on the truck now, and that's the only reason post hole diggers are on the truck.
Very true.
Yep.
Very true.
We ran into that instance while Kevin was here. We had to, we drove a post and hit something immediately, and Kevin's like, well, what do you do in this situation? I said, I'll lower the post and I continue driving. I'll let the guy that's working with me that day clear the hole out, and once I have all these lines, the driver keeps pounding. It doesn't stop until it's not needed anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was another tip that I picked up from Evan too, because typically all production stops because we're focused on setting that post. Hey, go get me the sawzall, go get me the shovel, go. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of activity, people running back and forth because we didn't have what we needed in that spot, and that just blew my mind. I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Because we can just move on to the next one. We've already got it laid out. We've already got it marked. There's no point to waste any time on that. Let somebody else deal with that. Let's keep driving posts. And you learn something new every day.
Absolutely, man. I'm telling you what, dude. I mean, I just learned something new about the my horizontal my fences, which I have a special ugly place in my heart for those. I'm not a fan.
We love them.
I like it. It breaks up the monotony, and it's actually cheaper in material So
Well,
a customer could upgrade to a cedar fence if they want to go horizontal, because you're not using 3 rails anymore. You're only using 1.5 2x4s per section.
well, and here's the other secret, guys. Don't tell anybody, but you charge more for horizontal.
Yeah, very
It does
true.
take more time, especially
It takes
by yourself. Oh,
all jokes aside, the explanation that I give to customers, because I've had several that say, "Hey, bid it both ways. Well, what's a standard stockade going to run? Vertical versus horizontal?" And I tell them right up, so well, horizontal is going to be more expensive because there's more layout time. There's more time in installation because there's more math involved and spacing that goes. There's more trim work because we're going to cover all of our seams and try and hide all of our nails, all that kind of stuff. And then when it comes to our gate framing is going to be different with a horizontal. So,
Absolutely.
we upcharge for it. Now, granted, sometimes you end up spending less in materials because you got less rail system, all that kind of stuff. So but you're spending more time in the actual process of installation. But once you get it down and everybody knows, the next step ahead, man, they go up so quick, and it's a no brainer, and you're making more money.
What's your preferred method? Following grade or stair stepping with the horizontal?
Oh, you know the answer to that already.
Stair stepping.
I mean, with the horizontal, in a lot of the neighborhoods that we're in, where HOAs, require that we step with grade, because they want that top rail to be level and not, at an angle from point A to point B. So we're forced to do a stair step pattern in a lot of those neighborhoods. And we've done so many of them, and we've perfected the process, in my opinion, that's what we recommend, just because it's so much cleaner. It's such a more presentable look aesthetically to the yard. We just would rather do it that way, unless they absolutely are dead set that, oh no, I've got to maintain this certain height all the way through. Then we're just going to have to run with grade. It's not my preferred method. I'd rather step it.
Okay, makes sense.
I prefer keeping it level now after doing it like this, and just using a couple of carpenter pencils as our spacers.
Exactly.
And the cedar was so light, working my way from that starting point, that eye level height that we did on the downward pickets. The pickets were so light, you just hold it up and put your pencil as your spacer in there, put 2 nails in it, and the board holds itself there. I was able to just do one side pickets, 4 or 5, and I go to the other side, do my spacers, and just tack them in.
That's right.
Okay, there we go.
It's simple.
Kevin, are you guys using any of the gopher wood over on the East Coast?
Not yet, but Evan had some on that job, and I love it.
It's freaking awesome, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful wood. I wish, like Evan, I mean, he operates out of his garage where he's sitting in right now. And I've been doing the same thing for many years. I don't have a supply yard. I don't have a laydown yard or a shop or anything like that. I call myself a pickup picketer. So, we pick up materials from the supply distributors that I've got locally, and we go install. So if I had the ability to stock, I would definitely be ordering me a truck of that gopher wood. Definitely. That stuff is nice.
It's nice stuff.
So Kevin is one of the wingman. He bought one.
I bought one, and can I tell the story, or you want to tell it?
You go ahead.
Okay. So Evan and I talked for quite a while before I actually even bought one. I seen him advertising him. I watched his videos. I'm somewhat of a fence nerd, if you don't know. So I watched all his videos on the wingman and how he was using them, and I thought, man, because I always try to figure out a cheaper way to do something, or cheat it. So I was like, I can get by with one, I'll just get one. There's no need for 2. I mean, come on. He's just trying to upsell me. So I bought one, and it came in, and it just so happened the very first job that we did it on, it was like 56 or 57 sections of fence, something like that. And I was like, perfect. I'm going to put this thing to the test, and I'm going to be the one to use it for the first time just to see how well it works. And I threw up all 52 sections of that fence by myself in no time. I mean, absolutely no time. And it just blew my mind. And I jumped right on the phone before I left that job. And I said, if one allowed me to do it that fast, two's got to be even faster. So I jumped on the phone. I called Evan and I said, dude, I need another one. Send it. I got to have it. And I bought the jack at the same time. So I went full board, wing tools. So he sent it out here. And let me just tell you that the jack setup is amazing. If you've overdrove a post by accident or, got to move a post, whatever the case is, that wing jack is excuse my language, badass. It's just badass.
Oh yeah. And
It's
guys,
so
I've seen a lot of people talking shit about people over driving posts. It is extremely easy to do when you're using something like the Bull or the Patriot.
sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Sure, it happens, man, and I know there's a lot of perfect people out there in this industry,
Yeah.
but I'm not one of them.
nope.
So we make mistakes all the time, and sometimes we overdrive, or we ran into a situation. I'm trying to remember what. Oh, that's right. We did have to go at a slant on or an angle with grade on this one particular spot, and the one postmaster that I drove, it was just off a couple of inches, and boom, guess what? We got the wingman. It took seconds to hook up, lifted it, we repacked a post around it, done, easy peasy. Now, of course, me being a cheapskate, I tried to make my own version, number one, of the wingman after seeing it, and I said, "Man, I can make one of those. That'll be a breeze." So I pulled a jack out of the garage. I took a section of Postmaster and I welded it onto this jack. And I said, all I got to do is throw some bolts, line the holes up. It'll work fine. Well, Evan is a genius because he knows what'll work and what won't work. And I actually showed him what I built. He goes, "Hey, that's pretty cool. That's great." Well, my design doesn't work anything like what his does because he's designed the feet to wrap around the post to be in a position to where it lifts straight up. Mine was wanting to push the post, and I had to have somebody on the other side to counteract those forces. And it worked. Don't get me wrong, it worked, but mine's back in the garage and his is on my truck.
So I guess that answers the question, huh?
I mean, if for some dumbass reason we've got to pull several, I'm going to break it out of the garage because I've only got one wing jack. But I don't see that happening.
No. And I watched Evan use it in Las Vegas, and I was blown away. I was completely blown away. I thought it was gonna do what you were saying and bend them either one way or the other, and it just comes straight.
Not at all. But it's straight out of the ground, man. I mean, it's so simple, and he supplies you with everything you need, to assemble it, and it went together in seconds. And it also articulates. So if you've got unlevel grade, that thing articulates a certain degree so that it compensates for that. Mine does not. Mine doesn't move. It's got one position and one position only.
Right. Makes sense.
And if you're pulling a post on grade, that's what these holes are in it for. Drive a stake through it.
There you go.
Sliding down a hill.
Yep.
Oh,
drive a stake and keep. That's right. I knew that without even asking a question because my guys asked me that too. They're like, "What are these holes for?" And I was like, "Well, it's obviously to put something in if this thing starts to shift at all." So in the fire service, we call those pickets. It's a long rod that we drive in the ground that we stabilize lifting struts and stuff like that with. But that's exactly what we do.
Okay. All right. Well, Evan, you really do think of everything, don't you?
I've come to a situation where I wish I had something that did this, and I'll think about it for a couple of days, and then I'll tinker around and make it, and then I just make it better and make it better. Then I release it.
Yep. There we go.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So, Kevin, you talked about getting Evan up to the East Coast. Do you got any plans for any future collabs, or is
Dude,
that
it's an open invitation. What was it, 2 years ago, Sean happened to be passing through this area, and it was a spur of the moment type of thing. He didn't have a planned event with us, but we made that happen, and that ended up being huge. We had like 6 crews show up from all over the East Coast, and I was just shocked. So I haven't set anything up, but Evan's got an open invitation. I've got a camper parked outside. He's welcome to come sleep in it anytime he wants. But yeah, and that goes for you too, Billy. I mean, I watch all the stuff that y'all do. I follow, Sean and y'all's, academy classes and stuff. I've had full intentions on making some of them. It's just my time has been very limited here lately.
right?
Between, having another grandbaby, my daughter getting married, the fire department, obligation that I've got. So, and then of course, being a fence business owner, slash runner, installer, I, I can't get away from the job. Today I was supposed to go give estimates, and what did I do? The guys were driving posts through asphalt, and we haven't, I say they haven't done that yet. And it was a chain link fence, which we don't do very often. So I just felt like I couldn't leave the job because honestly, I was having too much damn fun.
I like driving through asphalt. It's easy.
It was awesome.
It's super easy.
Yeah, but schedule 20 is not the preferred dimension, but that's what they had, and we made it work. I chipped through some of the asphalt layer, but then once we got down to that crush and run, it was easy peasy. We just compensated for any mushrooming that was happening and just made sure we didn't overdrive posts.
Yeah, just leave them high and cut the mushroom off and call it a day.
That's right. Easy.
I mean, dude, we've been on 4,000 foot of chain link for a couple weeks now. And after the second pond, because normally we run a grade string with chain link, and I will drive them to the height that they're supposed to be at and be done with it. But after the second pond, after some were mushroomed 2 inches, some were an inch, some were a half an inch, I was just like, screw the grade string, drive them an inch high and cut them off.
That's right.
And so, that's what we did. And man, we've been rolling right along. We got 2 ponds out of 6 left to do. So should be easy money.
Well, here's a good no dig plug also, because my lead guy, Dell, my foreman, he's always said, I hate chain link. I hate chain link. God, don't sell another chain link job. I hate it. After we started pounding, he loves chain link.
Oh, dude, I love chain link.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's crazy.
So Jeff Graff says, I'd rather set them to elevation and grade and be done with it. Same here, but you can't always do that whenever you're pounding posts. I mean,
correct.
I mean, so we primarily use Schedule 40 for this, but in some instances, we buy all the Schedule 40 that they have, and then we have another job that requires Schedule 40 and they don't have it. So we don't just put the job off; we just get Schedule 20, and it's just something that you gotta roll with, man.
Well, this particular job that I'm talking about was all black powder coated, top rail, line post, everything. Just Schedule 40 wasn't available.
Yeah, true that, man. And sometimes it's not available, and so sometimes you just leave them high and cut them afterwards, man. But working with a 3-man team, it doesn't really add too much, or it doesn't really take away too much time, because you can literally just have one guy on the bandsaw going around ahead of you and just cutting all the mushrooms off.
That's right.
So it's not terrible, man.
And we're cheating with that too. I mean, we've got good cutoff discs with our grinders, and that thing just it whacks off a post in no time, a whole lot quicker than using a bandsaw.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like my
getting
bandsaw.
back to postmasters. Would you rather drive them to grade or drive them to height and adjust?
With the wingman. I'm driving them. I'm driving them to height. Because what we used to do was we drove them and cut them off. I mean, we always left them high. Mm-hmm. But because I've got a wingman now, we're driving them to height, every single one of them, because ever since I bought that, I haven't had to cut a single one.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Saving on bandsaw blades there.
Absolutely.
There we go. There we go. All right, guys, we are like coming up on time. We got any final?
I just got started. Come on.
Oh,
Kevin
man.
will talk for a long time.
Man, I'm getting like hunger burps over here, man. It's about time to go home and eat.
I hear you.
Got any like final thoughts for everybody watching?
Y'all go and check out wingtools.net. Whatever I have on there available is available for sale. We're running kind of low on the wingman, so y'all might want to like race to it. I think there's like 8 left.
Here we go. Race to it, guys.
Then the next batch will be getting started here this week, welding them and then powder coating. So within a month, we'll have the next 100 ready to go.
Nice. Kevin, what you got?
I mean, I wasn't brought here to promote any of Evan's tools or wing tools, but I got to say I'm a total believer in them, and you just got to get it. I'm sure Evan will work out something with you. If you don't like it, you know what I mean, send it back. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to send mine back. I'll tell you that right now. You know, because it is sped up our process. It's so dummy proof when it comes to layout. There's no need for a tape measure. There's no need for even a pencil at that point. You just load and go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Period.
a 14-year-old can do it.
Oh, he was 13.
13-year-old.
13. That was the other thing. And I know you run out of time, but yeah,
go.
the second job we got, or when I got the second wingman in, I had a 13-year-old on the job, and I was like, shit, let me see how easy this really is. And I didn't even show him how to do it. He set him up himself, and he ran rail a whole 100-foot run by himself, and I videoed it. And of course, I got backlash for that too, but that's another story.
I mean, that's neither here nor there, right?
But no, good stuff. Billy, love your podcast. Keep up the good work. I love following what you're doing. And let's just keep pushing this industry forward, and Pound Town, baby. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you like so much for taking the time out of your evenings to come on the show. Look forward to talking in person with both of you very shortly. So let's make that happen. But with that said, guys, you'll have a wonderful night, man. Thank you.
Y'all too. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Just the tip.
All right, guys. Awesome show tonight. We got another awesome show lined up for you next week. It was the one I had to like push off because I got a flat tire on the interstate. We got Miss Nikki and Mr. Daryl Hage from Hage Fence down in Tampa, Florida on next week. They got Sean and Nico there this week doing sales training. So we're going to talk about some of that. We're going to talk about running a family business with the family in it, right? So y'all make sure to check it out next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Audio versions are like available the next day on all the major podcast platforms. Go check it out. Hit that auto download button for me. And with that said, y'all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I'll see y'all next week.